Peace, family. Peace, peace. This is your sister with the curly braids, Vicki Dillard. How y'all doing? How are y'all doing? I am running, but I wanted to tap in with you really quickly while I'm headed to my errands. I just finished a live a little bit ago on African Diaspora News Channel, so be sure to check that out. For those of you that don't know, I do news live there Tuesday through Thursdays, 2 p.m. Eastern, and then in addition to that, I do international news. How y'all doing, Mike? Hey, I see you, Mike. He says, looking good. Thank you, precious. Shirley Grand Rising, how you doing, beloved? What does that say? Jesus, Black Man 23, sup, beautiful Black Queen. How are you, precious? Boogie, how you doing? I see my beautiful Queen Esther. She said, greetings, beautiful. Greetings right back to you, precious Queen. Real quick, family. I love you back. Oh, yes. I see you. I love you. Hey, ladies, sending you love and hugs. I receive it. I receive it. Listen, family, really quick, because I'm going to have to jump out here in just a minute. I just wanted to briefly say a couple things to you. Did you all hear about former press secretary Kareem Jean-Pierre? She has left the Democrat Party. She's written a book now about independence, talking about she's leaving the Democrat Party. Do you all understand how significant this is? Now watch this. The former press secretary of the United States of America, right? That means that she was the face and the spokesperson to the world on behalf of the President of the United States and the American people, right? How many of y'all know for the past several years, Vicki Dillard did not stop giving her that everlasting work? How many of y'all know Vicki has done back-to-back broadcasts reminding y'all, who's that said, I thought you was about to say they deported her. I know, right? No, they didn't deport her. But how many of y'all know that I have for the past few years constantly talked about the fact that Kareem Jean-Pierre, the former press secretary of the United States, yes, the black former press secretary, Kareem Jean-Pierre, she has a Haitian background, I think her family. Anyway, I'm bringing that up because she's gotten a lot of backlash from the Democrat Party for saying that she's leaving the Democrat Party and she's going independent, right? You can look that up, right? Well, the reason I'm bringing that up, because those of you that follow my commentary know, Shirley said you were on her head. You already know, Shirley. Why was I on her head? Which I would like to, world, would you like to remind folks why I was always talking about her? Somebody asked me to check my message. I don't check DMs like that over here, baby. Email me from my website at Vicki Planet, and my team will get me your message. Go to the contact page. Why? The former press secretary of the United States of America had me blocked on a couple of her personal accounts when she had close ties to the Democrat Party. So right before even she ascended to the press secretary under the Biden administration, she had me blocked on a couple of her social media platforms. Why? Ask yourself, why would she be worried about little old Vicki Dillard with a laptop and a cell phone doing my broadcasts on different networks and different media platforms? Because she was upset when I did a broadcast exposing the disrespect from one of the former State Department people that came for Snoop, and she used a phrase, she cussed him out, literally cussed him out. Former Susan Rice, how many of y'all know her? Susan Rice was in Obama's State Department, right? She was really meant to be the Secretary of State, but they didn't want her. They didn't want no black person there. So both sides really worked to make sure she didn't get that job. She also worked under the Clinton administration many years ago, and is said to have something to do with the disastrous effect of what took place with the Rwandan genocide. Now, of course, they're going to always make the black face the fall guy or the fall woman. But anyway, she came out and threatened him when he came out and checked Gayle King for disrespecting Kobe Bryant when he passed. Well, I went on a weekend, went off on her. That video, the network that I was on at the time, it went viral. And I briefly mentioned Kareem Jean-Pierre because she went on MSNBC Morning Joe's show to try to defend that mess. She had me blocked ever since. She couldn't block me on the press secretary government website, social media, but she had me blocked. Now, I'm bringing this up for a reason, family. Somebody said, Queen, they had you blocked because they already knew you were a spiritual giant and they didn't want the smoke. I shade to that, precious. I'm trying to get you all to see they've always seen our influence as being dangerous. It is what they tried to snuff out in its early stages. That's why you got to understand that you have to recognize power in its incipiency. Don't recognize the power when it's in the third trimester and ready to be birthed. You understand? The reason why the current president of the United States is not a Democrat is because of us. The reason why they lost the Senate is because of us. The reason why they lost the House of Representatives is because of us. We're impacting society when our brother Ryan Coogler, the filmmaker of the blockbuster movie Sinners that came out, he said now he's FBA. How many of y'all know FBA stands for Foundation of Black America? That's a term that's directly from the black grassroots. They're upset that we didn't have to jump through legacy media, establishment media bootlicks. We didn't have to kiss the ring and kiss behind. Meanwhile, while y'all looking up to the Joy Reids of the world, MSNBC fired Joy, as I call her, Joyless. Tiffany Cross, she was on MSNBC using the platform telling folks not to listen to us. Baby, 5 minutes later, they didn't renew her contract. Angela Rye, she can't get her CNN contract hasn't been renewed. All the people y'all looking up to from mainstream media, not only are folks less trusting of them, but they don't even have those jobs. Power comes from the nobodies like me that you reject. Some of us are patient enough to be consistent, to do the right thing long enough, and we know in due course the divine is going to make sure we're good while we're doing what we ought to do. Now, some of you probably thought I was picking on Kareem Jean-Pierre, but I was absolutely right. Once again, I called it. Now she's sitting up here getting all this backlash from Democrats because they're like, well, why is she saying she's independent now? She's independent now because she was worried about her job before she left. These are about jobs. She's selling her book. And she's pretending like that she just had to come to a proverbial lily white Jesus meeting. This woman sat there and lied about Joe Biden's mental decline. She sat there and was hostile to people that was saying, what about giving Foundation of Black Americans reparations? She was hostile in her response to that. She defended the genocide that's going on over there with the Palestinians. She was the one that was responsible for that black African reporter who was giving her that everlasting work about what was going on in the continent of Africa. She shut him down at every turn and made sure that they snatched his credentials. Did y'all know that? I did broadcast on the fact that it was Kareem Jean-Pierre that was responsible for getting an African journalist credentials snatched from the White House. Everybody sitting up here talking about Trump and the injustice of the AP reporter from under the Trump administration, but didn't nobody have nothing to say when the Bidens were stopping it in front of that car up there. Yeah, in front of the, yeah, it's in the front. So family, I got to jump out. I'm just trying to let you all know, baby, once again, I keep hitting it. The White House press secretary is offended and worried about Vicki Dillard, which means who else in the White House was she chit-chatting about? Me too. I'll go ahead and get out here. Are y'all hearing me today? Y'all better stay tapped in. And by the way, family, be sure to join my school, the Vicki Dillard Mystery School. The link is above. I got to run. I can't wait to see you again.